Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Focus on Liberia. My name is Dennis Joy, and we are broadcasting from Atlanta, Georgia. In tonight's edition of Focus on Liberia, we're going to be focusing on the Liberian Business Expo that is slated to take place right here in Metro Atlanta. We want to welcome all our viewers from across the globe. This is Focus on Liberia, and of course, we are broadcasting from Atlanta, Georgia. In this edition, we are privileged to have the Honorary Consul of the Republic of Liberia joining Focus on Liberia for the first time, Honorable Cynthia Blanford.
Good
Honorable
evening.
Blanford,
Thank you so
welcome to
much.
Focus on Liberia. We are so happy to have you.
I'm delighted. Thank you so much. It's my honor and my privilege. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you so much. I also want to introduce the head of the Liberia Chamber of Commerce, Madam Stephanie Logan Setro. Steph, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having us again, Dennis. Appreciate it.
Last and definitely not the least is Madam Stephanie Salamantu Duncan. I call Salamantu, some say Matu, some say Steph. Matu, welcome to the show. We are glad to have you once again.
Thank you for having me.
We want to welcome all our viewers from across the globe. We are delighted to have a group of professionals that we're going to be talking to us about the Liberian Business Expo that is slated for July 30th, right here in Metro Atlanta. And at this time, I will, this is just a brief introduction, and Stephanie Setro will take it over from me. We have Stephanie, who is the head of the Liberia Chamber of Commerce right here. We have also Stephanie Salamantu Duncan, who is the head of Made in Liberia Inc. She's also part of the expo, and Honorable Cynthia Blanford. So, Steph, I want you to start by first introducing the purpose of our discussion here tonight.
Okay, well, tonight we're going to discuss the Liberian Business Expo, touch base on a little bit on the chamber and how the Business Expo came to be, and also the link between these three beautiful women that we have on your panel today. Actually, Made in Liberia, which is headed by Stephanie Salamatu Duncan, is partnering with the Chamber in order to present the Liberian Business Expo. So this is a joint effort between us and Miss Cynthia, the Honorable Cynthia Blanford. She will be a panelist at this event. And also Cynthia is the catalyst for the Chamber. So she is the brainchild behind us actually starting the Chamber. So that's how we're all interlocking related here. So basically, I'm going to talk about the Liberian Business Expo that we're having July 30th, 2022 in Lawrenceville, Georgia. It'll take place from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. In all actuality, the actual Business Expo starts on the 29th. The 29th at the Village Bar and Restaurant, we'll be having a B2B meet and greet.
And Steph will get into the details. We've also been joined by all right, let me bring him on, and you will see Honorable Jackson George from Minnesota. That's the Consul General right there in Minnesota. That's the partner of it. He is the representative of the government of Liberia in Minnesota. Mr. Honorable Jackson George, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Honorable George participated in our first virtual Independence Day program, and so you are back. Welcome back.
Thank you.
I must also stress that full disclosure about Honorable Blanford, we work with her right here in Metro Atlanta with Lama and everything, and she has been a great help with everything that we do here in Georgia. So I want to give her a minute to just kind of tell my viewers who she is and what really she's been doing for our community here. Steph, I know you want to talk about your expo, but we want to welcome the Consul General, and then let us talk to our viewers.
I'm not greedy.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dennis, for the opportunity. Good evening to all of you on the panel and for all of you who are watching both here and around the world. My name is Cynthia Blanford. I have the honor and distinct pleasure of serving as the Honorary Consul for the Republic of Liberia here in the state of Georgia since 2009. We are very honored to issue travel visas to Liberia, and we have a very robust agenda that supports President Weah and the government of Liberia. Specifically, we're very focused on our National Port Authority, the National Port Authority of Liberia, helping to strengthen trade between Liberia and the state of Georgia. And those numbers are looking very robust. We know we can do better on the trade side coming out of Liberia into the state of Georgia, but we're working very aggressively on that, and the numbers will improve. We have just signed an agreement virtually a few months ago while we were in Liberia on a trade mission, and all is looking very well just in terms of increasing the trade. We're also very focused on education. We have 19 educational partners, Savannah State, Clark Atlanta University, Georgia Tech, Emory, and others who are helping to strengthen education with the Ministry of Education, the universities in Liberia, so that our young people have a chance to get that kind of intellectual knowledge to strengthen education and job opportunities in Liberia. So we're doing some important work. We have a sister airport agreement with the busiest and most efficient airport in the world with Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. We have a partnership with LAA, Liberian Airport Authority, to help strengthen the airport relationships across all parameters. And we're looking forward to the future together. We have 25,000 Liberians. I say hello to my partners and friends here in the state of Georgia. And again, very excited to be a part of your program today. Thank you, Stephanie, both Stephanies, for your leadership, and also to my colleague and friend, Jackson George. Good evening to all of you.
Thank you, Honorable Blankford. So you say Honorable Blankford is to Georgia, has Honorable Jackson George is to Minnesota. So Honorable George, a few words before we even begin the program.
Well, I want to say hi to all the viewers. We are carrying on some function of the government of Liberia. We represent the government interest here in the Midwest. We are providing right now visa services, and we also provide Liberian passport services, biometric services for Liberian passports. Well, it's a hectic job. I also run the Liberian Business Association in the diaspora. Right now, there's independence, and I'm being pulled over from all angles. I will be in Atlanta on next week for this great expo. We are doing everything possible to get Liberian businesses in the diaspora to see how we can change our mindset in the diaspora and help our homeland. How we do business in Liberia, we want to make sure that we can improve trade. We believe that Liberians are the first investor should be our first investor in our homeland. And that is why LIBA Diaspora is doing everything possible to ensure that we get the right mindset, to ensure that we in the diaspora are contributing immensely to the economic growth and development of our homeland.
Thank you so much. Let me go to Stephanie Salomantu, because we have Honorable Blankford, Honorable George, the Chamber of Commerce meeting. Tell me about the link, especially as it regards the Business Expo that is coming up. Why you have these big people here today?
Is that for Stephanie Salamatu or Stephanie?
Stephanie Setro.
Oh, for me.
Yeah.
Dennis, you said Salamatu. Okay. The link
Stephanie's getting me confused now.
Okay. The Stephanie and Stephanie. We confuse everybody. Well, basically the link here is that, okay, I explained the link between Matu, myself, and the Honorable Cynthia Blandford. And Jackson George, our business male counterpart here, I reached out to him in regards to expanding, because, the chamber does cover the whole of the US, Canada, and Mexico. So we reached out to him as not only the Honorable Counselor General for Minnesota, but also the head of LIBA, which is awesome because he, wearing two hats, worked proficiently with what we needed to happen in Minnesota. So we've been collaborating and communicating with Mr. Jackson George to expand the business development side of things in Minnesota and collaborating it globally.
Thank you. Ms. Salamantu? Your turn. And tell me about Made in Liberia, the collaboration with Liberia Chamber of Commerce, and how that leads us into the Liberian Business Expo that we all expecting.
Okay. Well, once again, thank you so much for having me on. The Made in Liberia, it sounds very broad when we say Made in Liberia, but started this journey about, 4 years ago. And it's like a passion project that sort of turned into a social entrepreneurship, I should say. And the goal was really just to showcase a lot of our micro and small businesses that were manufacturing or producing products in Liberia. So we started hosting these monthly fairs in Liberia. When I came to the States late last year and got connected with Stephanie, it's actually through Cynthia that connected Stephanie and I. And I actually wanted to do the fair here, and not just to showcase the vendors that were making products, but to really start breaching the gap between the Liberians who are on the ground and the Liberians in the diaspora. I always feel like there's so many trade instruments, there's so many resources available, and for some reason we're not really meeting each other in the middle. Wherever the gap is, there's a huge gap somewhere. So I had reached out to Cynthia before and just talking about trade between Liberia and the US to begin with. And she connected me with Stephanie. We talked. Stephanie had a similar interest in the business community and showcasing Liberian businesses here. We decided, you know what, we pretty much want to do the same thing. We have the same goal in mind. Why don't we work together and try to make this happen? So here we are trying to do this.
Thank you
And
so
I'm
much.
glad Mr. Jackson George is on.
Great. And that's what leads to Honorable Jackson George to talk about LIBA. What is it, and what's your connection with the expo that is about to take place right here in Metro Atlanta?
Well, I was excited to have heard that we have the Liberian Chamber of Commerce. I think we in the diaspora, we need real built institutions to help uh, with the economic development in our homeland. And so when I got the call that there is an expo, and I talk to Salamantu most of the time, I think this is a great opportunity for us as Liberians in the diaspora to do more. First, we need to showcase our businesses. We need to care for our businesses here in the diaspora. But I think the second component of us doing businesses in the diaspora is to eventually take some of those talent and resources to our homeland. And so whatever we do here, especially with LIBA was created to network and leverage our potential. Now that we've identified most of the businesses in the diaspora, how can we first network, trade among ourselves, and then move some of the resources overseas? And so that is why I'm excited with this expo. And once we can start building this relationship with the chamber, we will be able to harness our resources. We'll be able to pull together uh, our resources and do it. No one person can do it. No one group can do it. And that is why the missing piece about us in the diaspora is that we have not been able to work together to put the puzzle together to make it work. And this is a time for us to do it. And I think all of these institutions, we need to be strong. But again, the passion, all of what we do in the diaspora, the passion is how can we help our homeland? And I think this is what we are doing.
Thank you so much. Honorable Blanco, I've been in the community. I've seen some of your work. And this time, with the consortium, I see students, coming, even the airline going to Liberia and all these things. But one of those things that both Stephanies alluded to is you connected them. Where did that come from? Were they approaching you to help, or how did you connect the dots that this was going to be, good for all of us in this place, and that both of them needed to come together?
That's a great question. First of all, the consulate is located in the city of Atlanta, and the strength of the mayor's office is in downtown Atlanta. We have the state capitol in downtown Atlanta. And oftentimes, when meetings are called, business meetings, opportunities to network at the highest level with businesses, conferences, and all of that, they invite the chambers. And so we have had a void in this community for way too long. Not having a chamber, we have missed out on ways to connect with resources and ways to connect with people who have influence. And so for several years, we've been talking about what about the Liberian Chamber. So I was very delighted several years ago when Stephanie and I were talking, planting the seed. How is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? And so now we are here. And so now when you go online, and I will tell you, this is probably first known on this session today, that the mayor's office will be publishing. It won't be ready in time for the magazine, which I'll talk about in just a minute. I'm the new publisher of a magazine called International Focus Magazine, but it will be published in the next edition. So the bilateral chambers of commerce, now Liberia is now going to be listed. It's going to be recognized. It will be among the other 20 plus chambers of commerce in the city of metropolitan Atlanta. So that is the good news. And so it made good business sense for us to be recognized. And we're very, very excited for that linkage. So that was the main reason, so that we're not left out. We are a growing economy in West Africa on the continent. And we have a growing business community here in Atlanta, Liberians, and we need to be connected to the business community. And this is a great way to start.
And Andrew Blackford, you said the Liberia Chamber of Commerce will be listed. What does that mean?
So the mayor's office has several directories. For example, Sister Cities is listed on the website for the city of Atlanta. Bilateral Chambers of Commerce listed on the website. And so right now, if you go out to the website for the city of Atlanta, Liberia is not listed. However, in the magazine that I run, which is the International Focus Magazine, this is the edition with Ambassador Andy Young on the cover. The next edition will be the Nigerian Consul General, Amelia Somalia. But inside of the magazine, I am listing Liberia. It will have a footnote. I can't officially make any adjustments to their official documents, but I made a footnote because it has been confirmed that the Liberian Chamber of Commerce will be listed in the next edition from the mayor's office. But I'm listing it in our magazine. So it will come out later this month.
Thank you. Honorable Jackson, Judge, wanted to come in?
No, sometimes when Cynthia and I go back and forth with the population in Atlanta, Minnesota is the homeland. Brooklyn Park is the second Liberia. So but on a serious note, I think this Expo, and I'm hoping that every year, next year, we'll bring it to Minnesota and we can move it around.
No. Houston, Texas.
Hold on. Stop. We're taking bids.
I'm just saying.
We already have a location.
I'm just pushing stuff. But I think Minnesota is has a growing population of Liberians in the diaspora. We are very vibrant. Just a few days ago, we acquired a liquor store. We own a liquor store now. We own a dry cleaning. We own restaurants. I mean, we're doing a lot in the diaspora, but that's not the point for me. The point there is all of these talent, all of these resources. How are we helping the homeland? And that is why I'm interested into this expo, so that we bring some exposure to what we are doing in the diaspora, so that it's not just people just talking and causing noise and creating all of the confusion of how the diaspora look. No, there are serious Liberians in the diaspora. People, we got millionaires too, and so we need to find these millionaires, Liberian millionaires, get them in the right frame of mind. Let us invest into our homeland. It can be done. And so I'm happy to meet with all of these business people, all of these people who have the heart to do something for our communities here in the diaspora, but most especially in our homeland. And once we can put this puzzle together, my brother, Liberia is the best country in the world.
I agree. Stephanie, that leads us to the expo. What do we expect? When and why do we need this expo?
I think Cynthia and Jackson just summed it up real nice, exactly what we're trying to portray with the Business Expo. But Stephanie, my team and her team, we're working diligently to promote the Liberian businesses. We've been very fortunate since we've announced this engagement, that we've had a lot of people reach out to us, which is awesome. A lot of dignitaries, a lot of other organizations and government agencies. So we're quite happy about that. Um, so our business expo will be on July 29th. We start the B2B networking event at the Village Bar and Restaurant from 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 10 p.m. We'll have food, we'll have drinks, and also it's an opportunity for the vendors to meet one another and for people in the community to also come out and meet these vendors ahead of the business expo on Saturday. And we'll just have them introduce themselves and let the community know what they do, what services they provide, or what things they sell. On the morning of July, yes, July 30th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's when the actual main event occurs. And we'll have the inside outside vendors. We'll have panelists speaking. Cynthia Blanford being one of our panelists. Jackson George will be there, so he will be notably announced. And we also have Nelson Carpe will be one of our panelists, Ambassador Patent. And I'll let Steph talk about the other speakers that will be there. So basically what we're doing is we're exposing the Liberian businesses to the community. This event is free to the community, so everybody's invited to come. We've invited everybody and their mama is invited to come out. We have cultural events for the kids so they can be occupied while their parents or parent walk around and take a look at all the things that our Liberian business people have to offer. And then that night,
before we get to the night, because that's the part that everyone is waiting
that's the
for,
part
right?
that you like.
Right. But when you say Liberian businesses, what are some of the businesses we expect to see? What line of businesses that are they in?
Oh,
So that someone sitting home now and say, "Oh, does my business qualify to be there?" So tell me about the kind of businesses that you're expecting.
all businesses qualified to be there. I mean, they run from clothing to jewelry to makeup artists to production people to help me out, Steph. Everybody is there. We have food. We have
Until you are muted.
bakers. We have bakers, we have food people, we have clothing, we have artists, we have fashion people. You name it, probably they're represented.
Yeah. And we also want to make sure people understand when we're talking about vendors, we're not just talking about products, we're also talking about services. And that's one of the areas I think we tend to kind of slack on when people hear, oh, we have an expo, the products, you have to be making something, but we need services. We know we have a lot of lawyers in our communities. We have accountants. I was just talking
financial
to
advisors.
Yeah, and he was telling me about cyber security. And the first thing I said to him, I'm like, why do you guys not advertise? We don't know that's what you do. This is why we host these type of events, so you can come, you can network, and you can get some exposure so people know what you're doing. And people also, Liberians also have to understand that it's not just Liberians who buy from Liberians. You're advertising to the community. You have African American community that's there. You have other African Spanish ladies. The lady
The
we met
Caribbean people will be there.
Beer truck. I mean, you have other people who could buy your stuff, who could be potential buyers. What I'm very excited about are the speakers. There's so much information, so much resources that is available to Liberians, to the business community, we don't know about. So when we talk about the speakers, we haven't, of course, Cynthia come in to talk about why we should be doing business in Liberia. Also, we're looking at what are some of the resources here for the Liberian diaspora, and that's where Prosper Africa come in. We have Mr. William Fanjoy. He is the private sector engagement senior advisor for Prosper Africa. And Prosper Africa is a U.S. government initiative that they're there to increase trade and investment between African nations and the United States. And in short, what they do is that they empower the businesses here in the US to do business in Africa, on the continent. And who better to empower than the diaspora, the Liberian diaspora, the African diaspora? So they have resources for investors. They have market insights. They have deal making support. They support trade missions to Africa. They have financing opportunities. There's so many resources that's available to the diaspora business community, to the private sector. So he will be on just kind of talking about Prosper Africa. And going a step further, Jackson George was talking about, we're not really tapping into the Liberian diaspora here. We have millionaires here. We have serious business people who are here. How do we transfer all of that resources to our homeland? We had Vonnie Baker with the IFC, but unfortunately he can't make it. He had a death in the family. So replacing Vonnie will be Dr. T. Nelson Williams. He's a senior private sector. I'm sorry, he's the CEO,
COO.
COO of
Yes.
Connex,
Mhm.
the oil and gas company in Liberia. But he will be speaking on one of the questions that we put out there. Why does the diaspora need to go beyond sending money? And how do they get involved in improving the business climate in Liberia? We know a lot of people got excited about that topic. We're looking for solutions. We want people who have ideas, who can think outside the box, to come and participate in the conversation. We're not looking for the issues. We know what the issues are. I think everybody know what the issues are. We're not looking for issues. We're looking for solutions. We're looking for recommendations. This is not an easy fix. It will only happen if we continue to have constructive dialogue with the private sector and with our government. So we're excited that we will have, of course, Cynthia, who has really been a champion for the Liberian country, for Liberia in general. We're excited that we will have Jackson George in attendance. We're even more excited that we will have Ambassador Pattern there, pretty much representing the Liberian government, so we can hear some of the recommendations from the private sector on how the diaspora can get more involved in improving the business climate in Liberia.
And before I
So,
go
so,
to
so before you go, just to add on to that, I think networking. One of the things that have hurt us, if you have a small business or micro business, join a networking group. The information comes out to this group, they dish it out to you. If you are not on the menu, I mean, if you are not on the table, you're on the menu. If you do not get the information, the resources are here. She talked about Prosper
Mhm.
Africa. There are 16 United States agencies that support overseas programs.
Mhm.
We qualify for some of those things, but we do not have the information. That is why it is better to network and be part of these institutions so
Yeah.
that you get the information you need to make better decisions as to what you want to do in your business. So come and network. Just networking alone to me is the best benefit in any
Yeah.
of these organizations that we have.
Mhm.
right, and what I wanted to also add there or ask is, we say business, right? There are some of us who have businesses and we don't even know. I'll give you an example, right? A lot of Liberians run talk shows and they do that, some say for fun,
Mm.
but that's a form of business. You can make money from it. So how do you get people who maybe they're doing something and they really don't think they're doing a business, or they think they're just having fun? How do you get to those kind of people, and how do you bring them to be part of this expo so that others see what they do and they too realize and recognize that, hey, I can really make money from this?
Well, I think about doing what we're doing right now, trying to bring exposure to the expo, trying to get to tell small business and micro business owners that if you join an institute or network institution, you will get the information you need. We got business development that we need to do, small business development, training, technical assistance. These are things that we want to provide for our businesses so that they are informed, but better be that they're being ready and get the resources that we need to get to the next level.
Yeah. In addition to that, who better? I mean, what's a better group to talk to than other business people? People who are actually doing business. You come to these events, you meet your peers.
Mhm.
They're competitors in a good way because you learn from
Mhm.
them. When we started doing the Made in Liberia Fair, I mean, we will have a table with somebody who's packaging in a plastic bag, and then you have somebody who's actually packaging really good. And I would encourage them. I'm like, talk to each other, find out where they're getting their packages from. This is good competition. And as we went along, we just saw people improving their packaging. We saw people improving the way they set up their display, because it was almost like, if you come, you better step up your game, because the other person next to you is looking at you like, now, one more people coming to my table, so I'm going to make it more attractive. And then you have people there who have access to a lot of the resources that you don't have. And I do agree with what Jackson is saying. You have to join an organization. You have to join an organization. When information come out, it, the these agencies don't have the liberty of just putting it out to the entire world per se. So they have to filter the information through these organizations, and then the organization filters it through your member. We sit here, we watch Netflix, we watch Stars, we pay subscription fees for these things, and more than likely we don't even sit and watch TV all day. You watch it for a small period of time. It doesn't hurt to join an organization and channel some of your money. I mean, how much are the membership fees to begin with? So you're getting information. Information is one of the most powerful tools. All of the other events that happen, that just like bonuses that comes along. But the information that the organization have, they're extremely important for businesses.
Thank you.
And to add to that, what Jackson said real quick about networking, it's when you network with other businesses, you have no idea how your business expands. Take, for instance, we have a WhatsApp chat room that's strictly for businesses that come in there. And I am just blown away the amount of calls that I get from people who are in that chat room. And that competition thing is awesome, because what will happen in the chat room is someone will post, that person starts to get people constantly asking questions about their business, and it entices other businesses to post as well, to say, oh, let them know that what I'm doing. And then we get calls all the time about people saying, oh my God, my business has grown since I've been in this chat room, because we're referring and we're networking and we're building on top of everyone's businesses. And everybody's talking to everybody to say, oh, use this person and use that person. So now this person who might make couple of $100 a week is making even more money, because these people are referring other people to them, and they're also learning from one another. So it's an awesome platform for networking. And so exactly what Jackson said, and also what Steph said, networking is crucial to a business.
Thank you. Honorable Blankford, you'll be speaking at the event as part of the panelists, Expo, panelists, and all that. Make me understand what you're going to be talking about and what value is going to add. What will your listeners benefit? Vendors, the public, everybody else. What do you expect to get?
Another great question. So for me, as an honorary consul and as a business owner in my own right, it's important to know that Africa is open for business. Liberia is open for business. And what are those reasons to invest? Number one, we've had political stability. And very important is people are investing in a country, a foreign country, they need to know that there's political stability. So that's the number one thing for people who are putting their money in a foreign country. Liberia is stable. Number two, we have a dual currency. So particularly for Americans, you have the Liberian dollar and you have the US dollar, a currency, very strong US dollar currency in Liberia. And so I think it's important for people who are traveling and people who are wanting to participate in the growth and development of this country to know that you can spend US dollars in your transactions. The low cost of labor. I mean, not to be proud of $5 a day, but at the same time, we've got a youthful and budding young population. And so if you're looking to put a business in Liberia, the cost of labor is very low. How do we strengthen that? Over time, you increase the hourly rate and you help people to pay for their families, young people to go to school and to have beautiful homes and have very strong businesses. The abundance of natural resources. Liberia has an abundance of natural resources. The forestry, we have beautiful beaches, and we have the pygmy hippo and all of these beautiful flowers and places to visit. I know there's a national agenda right now, Dennis, moving forward to redefine why Liberia and why now. It's such a beautiful country, but many people don't know about Patawi and Grand Cape Mount County and other places, Mount Nimba, places that are just stunning and beautiful for people to visit and spend their holidays, and for to be married and to spend vacation. So those are opportunities that we'll share with our listening audience. And then the opportunities in the mining sector, energy, oil and gas, ICT. The need is very strong for the ICT. You get there, you want to be able to use your cell phone, you want to be able to get on the internet. So for those who are interested in that space, we're encouraging people to come and be a part of it. And for me, one of the issues and that I'm very excited about clearly is in the agribusiness sector, the budding cocoa industry. Madam Minister Molly Cooper has done an impressive job in bringing cocoa into the market space, and we're excited to have competition with Cote d'Ivoire and Ghana. I've tasted some of the Liberian chocolate. It is to be reckoned with. We have Liberian honey, which made in Liberian honey. It's just impressive what Gladys has done. And that honey should be in the world market space. So we've been working with her behind the scenes to figure out how we can bring honey at a much more aggressive level into the United States. So in that regard, we're going to be talking about why Liberia, why now? What are those reasons to invest in Liberia? And it's never too late. It's the bicentennial. So for those who are interested in celebrating the founding of the country 200 years ago as a republic, this is a time to get in there and have a great time. There are a great number of visits and tours going in between now and the end of the year. So we'll be highlighting some of those opportunities as well during the expo.
Thank you, Honorable Blankford. And I'll tell you, I don't know if this will pass for a joke, but Mantu described you as a champion when it comes to these things. And I had my own experience firsthand when Leo was president. And Honorable Blankford would go around and she was naming Patawi and all these different places. So when she brought the pictures of the beaches, and Leo was saying, I mean, the sand is so clean. Where is Cynthia getting these things from? I said, well, because she's into it, right? So there are a lot of things in Liberia that a lot of us who were born and raised, they don't even know about. But because she is so laser focused on these things and looking for these resources. I remember the last time we were working on something, say, well, when the ships come from here and go to Liberia, when they are coming back, those same ships should be loaded with Liberian goods.
Yes.
So I've heard a lot from you, and so that's why I'm not surprised that you were able to be someone behind this thing and trying to push things further. Tell me more about what people that are coming there should expect.
You speaking to me?
Yes.
Oh, to expect.
Yeah.
In my mind, again, everyone has talked about networking. It is so crucially important. The information exchange, the knowledge sharing, the bring your business cards, your pamphlets, your flyers. Let's set up those WhatsApp chat rooms. They are powerful in terms of information sharing, as Stephanie was talking about, because you feel a sense of connectivity. Oftentimes we're working in silos, and I'll talk to you, you'll talk to me. But I'm involved in so many chat rooms right now. You share information, and it becomes a very, very powerful tool. So if nothing else, come out and meet those individuals. Ambassador Patton will be there, His Excellency George S.W. Patton Sr. He is the president's representative, the highest ranking representative in the United States, will be at the expo. And so we're expecting you will come and meet him and introduce yourself. So when you are in need of a Liberian passport, or you're in need of a visa, if you happen to be coming from someplace else and you need to have that conversation, he is there. Introduce yourself, make those connections. And so I'm very excited. It's a very healthy way for Liberia to step forward in this bicentennial space that we're in right now, to announce to the world that we are open for business. We are here to network. Don't forget us. We may be one of the poorest countries in the world, but the future of this country is so bright. And so I say to you, get on board now, because when that train leaves the station, you want to be on it.
Thank you. Honorable Jackson Josh will also be speaking. Give us a sneak peek of what you're going to be talking about. And
well, I haven't gotten that. I know she said she would give me some few time, but that's great. But I think my take to our community in the diaspora is that we need to understand partnership. We need to start the conversation around how we can take corporations and not just individual going home and open a shop, open a little. We need to stop. We need to start looking at pooling our resources
Mhm.
to carry corporations back home, build institutions down there, create jobs. And that
Mhm.
is why I'm excited about us as Liberian businesses in the diaspora coming together to have a strategy. If we do not have a strategy, we are wasting our time. And so these conversations that we are having, they are very important for the economic development of our homeland. I always say we have all lived our usefulness in the diaspora. And the little time that we have now, it's time to be serious about how we can help. Maybe we might all not get to the promised land, but we might be able to help our future generation to get to the promised land.
Yes.
And that is my fight for us to be able to do that. And so I'm hoping that this expo will begin the process of exposing our businesses and our businesses to the world, to the greater world. But at the end of the day, all of what we do in the diaspora, our heart is to our homeland. And so we have to figure out a way. And that's the strategy that we all need to sit down and figure out what strategy can we employ to develop our homeland. And so
Thank you.
that's
So,
some
ladies
of
and
the things
gentlemen,
I'll be talking about.
great. Thank you so much. If you are just joining us, this is Focus on Liberia. We are speaking to members of the Liberian business community working on the Liberian Business Expo slated to take place right here in Metro Atlanta. And I want to read a few comments here, and people are watching and they're commenting. The first one is Moses James. Say hi, Madam Blankford. Great seeing you. Long time. Aaron Safa Wia is watching from Grand Jita in Zwedru. And Aaron is saying, great job. Christian is watching from Liberia. Maisha Chick said the beauty of the chamber is raising awareness of many Liberian businesses to Liberians and other nationalities. Asik Tumo Setro, great presentation, Liberia Chamber, made in Liberia Council, Cynthia and Jackson. Dave Colley believes this is relevant information and hope for the future. Fix Electronics, everywhere best in the business. Thanks for another wonderful show. Thank you. Tony Mombedo Nidin Joa is watching from Liberia. Anthony, thank you for watching. Francis Jr. said, great job. Francis also want to know, Steph, you are talking about the chat room. Say, how can I become part of the
Oh,
group chat?
first
So
of
we
all,
got
I'd like to
this.
say, Francis, welcome. Thank you. I saw that you have joined the chat room.
Yeah.
So that was really quick, and we look forward to seeing you and hearing what you have to offer.
Okay. And this is, I want Stephanie Salamanto to respond to two comments here that I'm posting. Elijah Peter said, good job, friends, but Liberia still have a very long way to go. Steph, I want you to respond because you said something earlier that we know the issues. Uh, another issue, someone said, Nathan Bernard said the Liberian maritime money is 125 millions, come to Liberia, blah, 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 blah. Nobody know where the money going. Salamato, your response to those two comments.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. We have a long way to go. It didn't take us overnight to get where we are right now with all of our turbulence that we've had. So you cannot expect, Liberia to be fixed overnight. We have a long way to go. We all agree, but we need all hands on deck. Or we need constructive criticism. We need solutions. We need recommendations. Yeah, we have a long way to go. So how do we go? What would you recommend? What are you doing as your part to help us move along the right way? So we all have a part to play. And I mean, that's all I can say to that. For the second question as to where the money going, when we talk about getting involved, it means learning about your national budget, seeing where the money is going. It's easy for us to say, oh, yeah, the people say they're sending $500 million here. But look at the budget, see if there's actually $125 million that's actually coming in, where it's going. And then from there, that's when you start holding your elected officials accountable. But a lot of us, we don't know about our budget until somebody raises an issue. And by the time somebody raises the issue, that fuss, you got to have it raising it. Oh, then it becomes noise. But educate yourself. we have access to the internet right now. So it's not like 5 or 10 or 15 years ago. A lot of us have access. If we don't have, we have access to people who can get access to some of these documents. Let's learn about what's in our national budget. Let's learn about what's really coming in. To be able to say, okay, yeah, it is 125 million coming in. The numbers they're calling out, I'm not sure if that's what's coming in, because I don't know how much is coming in to the maritime. So let's educate ourselves first before we start criticism, and just putting information out there.
Thank you. The story is told of a king who was having a banquet and told everybody, if you come in, just bring a little bottle of wine. There were many people. So, when people are going to say, well, the king is color, I mean, my little bottle of wine is like irrelevant. It's negligible. It's small, you know. But little did they know that the entire banquet was planned on that just the little bottle they were going to bring. So out of 100%, 99 went with nothing. And so there was no wine at the banquet. What do I mean? If you are writing, say the money is nobody knows where it's going, just bring your little bottle of wine. And definitely there's going to be wine at the banquet. But if you sit and say, well, somebody is going to carry it, so let me mine, they don't need mine, you are going to be the problem. All right, more comments here. Minerva Grant say, great job and wish you guys a successful expo. Mahisha said, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. The expo chamber is the first step. There's an opportunity to devise a plan, pull resources together, create investment groups that can help develop Liberia. Let me hear more on, Steph, you were talking about
can we just
other
really go back
activities.
and introduce who Minerva Grant is that made that comment?
Right. And you can do that. Also, you were talking about other activities in the expo, talking about the 70s and all that. As we kind of draw down, let me hear more about what's going to be taking place at the Liberian Business Expo.
Okay. Sure. Just a quick note that before we close out this evening, we have a major announcement to make. We will announce the winners of the Liberian businesses who will be part of the live streaming. Now, let's get back to business. We have our after party. Now, after we have the Business Expo from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., we are going to let loose and we are going to dress up in our best get up 1970s outfit. We are going to party from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. We're going to eat, drink, still network because all the businesses, the community, and everybody will be there. So mix and mingle. Music. We're going to have performance by Lucky Shango. We'll have the DJ Sika. Jeremy Sika will be there on the ones and twos all night long. Jeremy will also be present during the daytime event to be playing music, blasted out so everyone can enjoy while they mix and mingle with all the businesses. And we'll also have a fashion show featuring the vendors who are the clothing vendors. So we'll have a major fashion show of those clothes, a collaborative effort of those clothing vendors. So come out, enjoy yourself, dress in your 1970s outfit. Admission to this party is $20, and we'll all just have fun and enjoy each other.
Stephanie, I don't have a bed balloon anymore. I don't have bed balloon and a high.
Oh, you better get your afro. You better get your afro wig, your bell-bottom pants. I want you in a shirt. I told all the men, I want you in shirts that are buttoned all the way down, opened up all the way down to your belly button with a whole bunch of gold chains.
Oh, no.
Okay, that's what I want to see.
Oh, my God.
So if you have any chest hair, just brush it down.
Chest hair is considered beauty. Kennedy Corey say, how can we encourage to do business in Liberia when the environment is not business friendly? Another issue. Okay. There are issues, right?
Yeah,
look, and let's be honest, right? There will always be issues. Right. There will always be issues. Whether one of the things that we all got to understand is that everything begins from in our homes, in our communities, in our churches, and everything. The people who are in government, they didn't come from utopia. They didn't come from somewhere outside. They came from our homes, our villages, our cousins, they're all our families. We as Liberians, we have to change our mindset in the way we deal with our country. If we are saying that there are problems, there are also solutions to problems. We have to start thinking solution focused. If we are problem focused, we'll always be going backwards and backwards. We have to start thinking solution focused. Yes, there are problems. There will always be problems. Even if you give me $1 million, I need more. So there will always be problems.
Yeah.
Rich people got problems too. Developed countries got problems too. So let's change our mindset about our homeland or our country. All of us, Liberian at home and Liberian abroad. Let's start being solution focused. How can we solve this problem that we are talking about now? The
Right.
problem that the individual listed. You're talking about business environment. How can we solve that problem? What can you do as an individual? These are why we are building these institutions. If we have strong institutions, we'll be able to solve some of these problems. But we cannot even build our institution outside of our homeland to be strong. And we are looking at the solution. So these are things that we are all responsible to play our role. And I'm not downplaying what the individual is saying. What I'm saying is that let us all start to be solution focused, change our mindset, because this country is for all of us. And no one person is responsible for what is happening in Liberia.
Yeah.
You are right, because when you carry a hammer, you always find a nail. So it's better to look at it the other way. Thank you so
Dennis
much. I know
is
there's
coming
so
up
much
with
to-
these parables.
I know.
Oh, you'll get to know Dennis. He's full of them.
Yeah,
Full
he's
of them.
pulling them out.
Right.
And stories.
What else you can use the hammer for? You want to find a nail, right? To be
You
used.
can kill mosquito with hammer too.
And to add for that question, I would say Kennedy Corey, join us. One of our panelists will be talking on exactly this. What can the diaspora do to help improve the business climate in Liberia? So bring your knowledge and come, let's solve the problem together.
And for me, the last thing I'd like to say is that International Focus magazine will be covering a good portion of the expo and the ambassador's visit for our next edition of the magazine. That magazine, it goes for 50, it's about 50,000 in the digital market space, and we have hard copies. So we'll make sure on social media, we're also telling the story about the great work that the Liberian community is putting forward. So congratulations, Stephanie, for all the good work, and your leadership team. Congratulations. I'm very happy to be a part of it. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you. And
Steph.
Honorable
Thank you.
Blanford, before you leave, let's get your closing comments.
My
Oh,
closing
wait, Dennis,
comment.
we haven't made the announcement yet.
Oh,
We haven't made the
Okay.
announcement. Let's make the quick announcement.
okay.
We sent out a broadcast to Liberian businesses in Liberia, and we asked them to check out our page, like, and send us information to see if they'd like to take part in our business expo via live streaming. And we had a couple of businesses that came back to us to be put in the pool. Our team met and we vetted the teams, and we basically pulled two businesses out of a hat. And we have decided that these two businesses particularly will congratulate you, and we'll send information after the show in regards to the live stream. But the two businesses that we chose were GTC Corporation, owned by Cassandra Hampton, and Liberia Eco Supply Ventures, Inc., owned by Leroy Boyke. So congratulations. Thank you. We look forward to promoting your business via live stream on July 30th, and we'll be in touch. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And quickly for announcement, this Sunday, we have our virtual Independence Day program right here on Focus on Liberia at 2 p.m. Eastern. The orator for this event is Dr. Ibrahim Yang. He's a Liberian historian. Also, to mention is the theme is A Home of Glorious Liberty, Hopes, Challenges, and the Future of the Republic. Artist Jesselyn will be performing her new single, Hail Liberia, and the poet Beulah Nimne will be reading us some Independence Day poems.
Nice.
You don't want to miss that. Honorable Blanford, thank you so much, all of you, for coming. We're going to wind this down. Let me get your closing comments and your parting words so that we can draw down the curtains. And Steph, make sure that you tell us the next step and what we need to do. Let me start with Honorable Blanford.
Thank you again, Dennis, for the invitation and for hosting this incredible forum for tonight. So again, on behalf of the Liberian Consulate in the state of Georgia, and in my own right as the president of Global Strategies for Good and the publisher for International Focus magazine. We're so delighted for the leadership and for the vision and for the support of this expo that will be a part of history in the state of Georgia. We're very excited that we can play a very small part. And for those of you who are listening, as the panelists have already said, it's one step. Get involved, network, be a part of an organization. Do something small to start. You have to get in the game to participate. Don't be on the sideline. Get in the game. Liberia's future is bright. We expect to see you. If you can't be there, be online on live streaming and participate that way. Stay in the chat room. And if there's anything that my office can do for you here in the Liberian consulate in the state of Georgia, my doors are always open. And thank you again for the leadership, the support. God bless you. And we look forward to seeing you on Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable George?
It's always hard to come after Cynthia. So I want to say thank you to focus on Liberia for hosting this program. The consulate in Minnesota is strong. Over 50,000 Liberians in one spot. It's a difficult thing when we're in one spot, but Minnesota is strong. We are happy. We are having an Independence Day program. The Liberian Business Association in the diaspora is strong. I'm the executive director. I also run Strategy Africa, the consulting company. We link business to business. I think what I want to say to Liberians at home and abroad, our country is for all of us. We all have a stake in our country. We need to begin the process of saying good things about our country. If we talk bad things about our country, the bad will enter. I'm not saying we don't have issues. We will have these issues. But look, if we start thinking positive and start having a positive impact on each other, building these institutions. I'm an institutionalist, so I believe in institutional building. And so if we can continue these things and what we're doing now, we will have one of the best countries.
Thank you. Salamatu?
Well, yeah, it's even harder going after the two of them. So, but I really just want to encourage everyone to come out to, tune in. I think there's a portion we might be going live. But if you're in the Atlanta area, come out. We will be having panelists with great information. We will have vendors for you to network, buy, support, games for children, food, music. What is the musician we have there? What is
Lucky
song?
Shango?
Laga Shango?
Yeah, what a
Lucky
song?
Shango.
Yeah. You'll be there.
We're doing
How
all
y'all doing?
right.
Yeah, doing all right. So yeah, we'll have so come out. It will be a fun evening, a fun day for everybody. And then of course at night we will party again. But this is extremely important. We have the resources are available. They're out here. So come network with the organizations who will be present, the businesses who will be present. Want to thank Dennis and his entire, he keep playing that song. Everybody want to thank Cynthia, want to thank Jackson George. And I mean, there's not much I can say. They pretty much said everything. Network. Let's build our institutions here. And let's see how we can bridge the gap between the diaspora and our homeland. And happy Independence Day.
Stephanie?
There he goes. He always leaves me for last.
Your
That's the worst.
Your closing
It's
comment.
the worst to go last. Just to piggyback on what everyone said, join a club, be part of your organization, network. Get in touch with either of us. You could reach out to us at www.Business Expo and get all the information in regards to what's going on for the Liberian Expo. You'll get to see the whole agenda and who will be there and what time and so forth. Come out, support the Liberian businesses, come out and see your community, come out and meet the Honorable Cynthia Blanford, Ambassador Patton, and all of our other panelists. Jackson George will be in the house. Stephanie and myself, now you know all of us by face. So come on over and just say hi. We'd love to meet you. We'd love to get to know you. You have any questions? We are more than happy to answer and to assist. We are here to advance the Liberian business community. And after all said is done and we work hard, we're about to play hard. Lots and lots of exciting things to happen that night at the event. We have lots of surprises that we're not going to announce. You have to be there to see it. So please come out and enjoy yourself as well as supporting the Liberian businesses. I want to thank Made in Liberia and Stephanie for partnering with us. It has been a great experience. I want to thank Jackson George for honestly being there every time I call and forthcoming with information and help and access. And I want to say my sincerest thank you to Ms. Cynthia Blanford, who put this idea forth at a very private conversation that we had and was a catalyst for me to do the chamber and continue to support us and continue to advise us and push that path forward and open doors for us. So I truly appreciate you. And Dennis, thank you for having us. And we'll see you all July 30th.
Thank you,
Stephanie.
so
I'm sorry, we forgot one day. We keep talking about the 30th, the 29th.
The 29th, the meet and greet, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Village Bar and Restaurant. Come out, meet the vendors, pre-meet, network, get together. We'll eat, we'll talk, and we'll just mix and mingle, everybody.
Yeah. The village will have dry fish and fried fish and dry rice.
No.
I mean, that fish is huge.
No, it will be a special menu dedicated to that, to our special private event.
Thank you so much. I want to appreciate all of you for coming. Thanks so much. I want to also thank our viewers, even those who will view later on all the social media platforms. We never close a broadcast without playing the song that says, "We are all Liberians." Whether you come from Kilipo or Fisibu, you come from Sinje or Monrovia, we are all Liberians. And it is incumbent upon all of us to do whatever it takes to make our country a glorious land of liberty. Have a good night and God bless you.
Thank you.
We are Liberians. Liberia is our home.